Hello. As promised, I am going to show you how to set your paper up in proper APA formatting. So you have a blank Microsoft Word page now, and what we have here is a blank page, as you see. So for proper APA 7 student format, we're going to create a title. I'm just going to let you know when we get to the context of the paper or things like that, you will see me do some copying and pasting. And that's more so because I already have a sample paper created for one of my other classes that I'm teaching at another university. So the title of the paper I am doing is titled Holding Trauma and Identity in the Clinical Encounter. So you want to make sure that your paper is has a title, whether you're using the um the assignment, whether it's case study for week 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, or whatever, or you decide to create your own. So just follow me real quick because I'm going to show you some easy ways to format paper. So the next line is going to be your name. So I'm just going to type my name, but please do not, do not, please do not use my name as your name when you're actually creating the setup for your paper for APA 7 format. Then we're going to hit return again. And now this is where you're going to put the name of the college, which is Springfield Technical Community College, which is funny, right? Um, when someone's watching you type, you're always going to mess up. So please, please, um, don't get me for my mess ups. This is now you're going to put the title of the class, intro to social work, and then this is where you put my name, Professor Sherrod Johnson. It's okay to do that part because you want to make sure you put the professor's name, and then you're going to put the date of your paper. Oh, it looks like I probably did an extra space. Yep, I did. So I'm actually doing this the day before classes start. So now the title of your paper, you're going to highlight and you're going to make sure you put that in bold. Before we get to um, formatting this part, I am going to show you how to do your running headers. No, nope, nope. Let's finish formatting this. So now the paper has to be double spaced. So we're going to highlight everything. And then up here, you should have like this little line thing. Drop down and hit 2.0. And then you want to center it. And then there should be an extra space between the title of the paper and my name. So now you want to bring this down to about the center of the page. So you're going to hit enter, kind of like get an idea by scrolling. And, that should be about good. Maybe one or two more. Oh, nope, that was too much. Um, Sorry. Uh, Okay, maybe one more. All right, so it should be about there. So you're looking at about one, two, three, four, six, seven times. You should hit enter to get it to about a good spot. Now, here we go. Now, this is where it's about to get fun. Every page should have a running header and a page number. The running header is always going to be in the left top of the page, and the page number is always going to be in the top right. So what we're going to do is we are going to hit insert, and then this is where we're going to do drop down header. Now the header is here. This is where you can delete that. We're going to put this all in caps. So your running header is always going to be in caps. And identity in the clinical encounter. So basically what it is, it's the title of your page again. We're going to copy that because we kind of want to make sure we keep it in the Times New Roman format. And what you do is you highlight it, go back to home, and then you hit Times New Roman. So now you have that. Now we are going to go ahead and we are going to do the page number. So you're going to go back to insert, and then you have page number. You're going to click that. It should automatically say top header of the page, top right, show number on first page, and hit OK. Now you can double click here, and now you have a running header. So now here's where we're about to have fun. Another trick to use. Now, most people, what they'll do is they'll keep hitting the return or the enter button all the way to where you will get to the next page, to the second page. You do not have to do that. So I want you to go to layout and hit page break and page break. And what that does, it brings you automatically to your second page. That way, as you're typing, you don't have to worry about reformatting the first page or the second page. Pay attention to that page break under layout. That is really going to help you with setting up your paper in APA 7 format for the student format. Um, it's going to help you out a lot. So this is where it gets a little fun. Um, I know in the paper layouts, for the most part, especially in your midterm and your final paper, I have headers where you are going to have to, um, how can I put it? Where you're going to have to, I can't even think, can't get the words out, to where you're going to have to, like, in order to separate the paper and make sure you hit certain topics. So for this particular sample paper that I use for actually my trauma and social identity class that I teach at Westfield State, I'm going to copy and paste. So please don't be upset with me so that you can, this is so you can get the formatting. So for instance, this is structure assessment. So that's the header of the section. So now I am going to, I know it's a lot of copying and pasting, so please, I'm going to show you real quick a few paragraphs of how the paragraph should be set up. All right. So now notice I copied this in, right? And you're like, ooh, that's cool, right? We are going to hit tab because you want to make sure each paragraph has an indentation. I just caught something. this is supposed to be in bold as well, because that's also a topic. Um, Here, and pay attention to something, and I can share this with you all too. Um, the style of writing that I have, and then you also go into how you are citing the material for your references. For instance, um, these are, this is cited. So, as Herman 2015 reminds us, trauma cannot be fully understood apart from the social context that shape vulnerability and recovery. Watch tell. So, I'm using actual text to support my stance on a particular topic. Um, just so this is a sample paper. So now, remember I said pay attention to how the layout and the breaks. So here we go. We are going to do another page break. Why? Because now we're about to do your references, your reference page. So we're going to type references. This is going to be highlighted in bold. And of course, I have a typo. So please, thank goodness for spell check. And we're going to make sure that gets centered. Again, using the icons on the top. We're taking the bold off. We're putting back on the side. Now, this is the part I'm going to show you. Proper APA formatting when it comes to citing material. I'm going to copy and paste again just so I can show you how to use some of the references from the text, right? Of course, Purdue OWL is a great way and a great tool to use. So, how to properly set up your references. Here you go. These are actual references from your readings. Notice they're all like flush. And then, yes, you'll notice, like, of course, the text up here is indented. So, yes, this has to be indented as well. Notice if you were to go, so the first line of the text under references does not get indented. It's everything below that. So the first line of each text that you're referencing does not get indented. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So notice if we go to the second line of this text, it's going to bring everything over. We don't want that. Um, we don't want that. So I always hit return and then tab. And what that does is, and then I'll go down to the next line and hit tab. So now that's the first text for reference. Now I'm going to go down to the second reference. You have here and then enter. However, I didn't tell you, you must ensure your references are in alphabetical order. Um, that's always going to be key. So as you see, I'm putting it in alphabetical order. Here we are. We have NASW, we have Navarro, we have Skiet, sorry for me messing up the name. And now you have your reference page. So let's scroll to the top. Notice you have a running header with your page number. This is what your cover page should look like. Then you have the content of the paper, how I have it set up. Then you have your references. You should always have a reference page, especially if I'm asking for one. So please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or anything that you may have. I'm here to help you. Have a great day.